Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I see that you have joined us from different parts in the world. I'm very happy to be with the help of lovely Penny Yu from China, from the Spooky2 staff. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to present this subject to you, Spooky2 Remote. A thorough explanation of remote use of Rife frequencies for better health, resistance, and environment. My name is Alice Kromhout. I pronounce it Alice because I was born in Holland, and that's the way the name was given to me. But so having said that, we will start with the first slide. How does the remote work? What is the principle of the Spooky2 Remote? Because it is a beautiful way to be able to deliver frequencies to your body or any other person that you want to help with this technology, with this beautiful Rife technology. And it's called the principle of quantum entanglement. So Spooky2 Remote applies healing frequencies at any distance using the recipient's DNA to treat people. It uses the principles of quantum physics and the antenna properties of DNA to transmit through non-local space. This is what Albert Einstein called a spooky action at a distance. When it was discovered and when they started discussing all these possibilities, this whole spectrum of possibilities that opened. Because of this quote from Einstein, supposedly, hence the name Spooky. And the 2 is for Spooky Square. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek wink eye to Dr. Albert Einstein. Modern physicists named it quantum entanglement. This is what we speak of today. And simply put, it means that if any part of a single system is removed from that system to a different location, any action performed on the part will also be instantaneously performed on the parent system and vice versa. So this is how Spooky2 Remote works. You put in a DNA sample, and I will show you what kind of DNA sample. We almost always speak about nail clippings because that is the best and most resistant sample that you can use. And I'll explain why. And you will see there are many videos also of the founder of Spooky2, John White, who explains that in the beginning when they were developing the technology, there was a lot of skepticism about remote treatment, but it was undeniable. The testimonials started coming. It was undeniable that it does have an effect. And it's a very important and convenient way of delivering frequencies to your body or frequencies to the body of your family and friends whom you want to help. So you have to put a DNA sample in the remote. And we were saying the best DNA sample is a nail. You have, of course, other things. You have skin or hair. For a hair, you would have to have the hair with the follicle around it, with the root. So just a hair is not enough. You can cut a piece of your hair. The root would have to be there. And then the DNA of that won't last very long. Just like skin, it dries out, or other biological samples. So the beauty of the nails is that the DNA is comprised in the keratin in the nails, and it can last even for 1,000 years. It is, however, recommended to renew a DNA sample every 30 days if you can. But if it's from somebody who is far away, you could even apply frequencies on it for longer. It's just best, it's recommended to change it every 30 days. And there's a lot of questions of people saying, how many people's fingernails can I put in the remote at the same time? And the answer you will find on the Spooky websites is you can put in as many as you want, as long as the remote box, the box of the remote, can close properly. And you need to ensure each piece of nail is isolated in a paper sticker or tape, so that the DNA doesn't touch, and you have to label the name and the date so that you know who it belongs to, and you can put it in and out when as necessary. Now, I want to mention this. There are some testimonials of people noticing undesirable effects of sharing a remote. And this is all based on personal experience. For myself, when I started Rifing, and when I started with the first 11 days of detox, me and my husband, we shared the same remote, and we had no issues at all. But I know there is a testimony of somebody who even said that sharing the remote with his wife, he started getting the same symptoms as his wife. And in my opinion, I share DNA with my husband every day because we sleep in the same bed, and there are different ways of exchanging DNA. But of course, this is only all based on personal experience. So you just have to pay close attention to what happens to yourself and to others and adjust accordingly. So I am going to show you how to put in, what to use, how to put in the DNA in the remote. First of all, when you have ordered a Spooky2 kit with a remote in it, there will always be these sheets of stickers, of round stickers. Now they look, when there is not a sticker out of it like this one yet, they look like simple white paper, and many people misplace them or put them with the packing material and throw them away. If that is the case, just simple medical tape, as long as it's paper. So not plastic tape. That will completely isolate it from all the frequencies also. So it has to be paper. So either the stickers that you got from Spooky2 or the paper. Now, I have as an example here a nail clipping from my husband. So I pick it up with a tweezer so as not to contaminate it with my DNA. And I take a paper sticker, I put it in. Now, what I do usually is I put it in and then double it, or you can put another sticker over it. But like this, you can place more stickers in one remote, and your stickers will last longer. So I have already labeled this one. I put on my name, Alice, and the date of today of the nail clipping, and then I can put the clippings in the little white place of the remote. They can be on top of each other as long as the remote closes, the box closes firmly. It's magnetic, so it will close really firmly, and everything is inside the little white part of the box. So they have to be in the middle, not overlapping the borders, so that it closes well. Then you will have to use, with the remote, you will have to use the boost. So this is the hardware connection. This is the Spooky2 boost that will always also be in your kit. And this part of the boost, you have to attach to your generator. In this case, I'm using an XM generator, and you have to attach it to the out one and out two part of that generator. Always make sure that you turn these little screws that are always between the attachments so that it is firmly fixed. Then you put the remote in the BN port of the Spooky2 Boost, and again you have to turn this little part until it clicks, and then you see it is firmly attached. Your DNA samples are in, and of course your generator is connected to the computer, to the software. So here you see the boost, and I want to explain just very quickly. You have all these outports. You have biological north and magnetical north. There used to be, with older remotes, there used to be a difference between biological north and MN, magnetical north. But nowadays, we speak only of the biological north. For the remote, you will hardly use magnetical north. This is also explained in the user's guide. You have here an outlet for high power contact, which is for running results in contact mode, and you have a colloidal silver outlet. And you have, these are the same ports as on the generator, out 1 and out 2. That they have the same function as the direct out 1 and out 2 on your generator. So, oh, sorry. When you have attached for the first time your remote and your boost to the generator, it is good to know that you can do a generator signal test to know if everything is installed properly. You can run this test to get familiar with the behavior of the LED lights, because they are not always on. There's just according to the frequencies, you will see them very bright or hardly at all, or they're flickering, or one of them is brighter than the other. When you do a signal test, you can get familiar with this behavior, and you can make sure that it is running, that your remote is okay. So for that, I would like to take you for a moment into the Spooky2 software and show you how you do this test. So we go, okay, home. This is when you open the software, this is the first page that you will see. And I want to make sure I'm sharing this page. Yeah, I'm sharing the right page. Okay. So here we are in the software. And when you go in the beginning, you see, I think it's miscellaneous. Yes. And here in the miscellaneous page, you see generator signal test. You click that. You have to click it twice so that you can see it here in the presets change that you have programmed. Then you go to the control tab, and you see I have 3 generators connected here. These 2 are, you can see here, are the silver, the generator X. And the beauty of that is that you can read the port numbers on the generator X, not so for the XM generator. There you will have to try out. You usually can see, but it's easy to determine also with the signal test which generator is generator 3. In my case, I only have 1 XM generator connected now. And I want to make sure that I can show you what happens to the LED lights when I say override generator and then click on generator 3. And I did something wrong. I'm so sorry. So I go back to presets. I had the generator signal test, you know, in not clicking override before it went back to what I was doing before that. So I have to make sure it's here in presets change. Go to control. I say override generator, click 3, And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What am I doing wrong, Penny? This is really embarrassing. I think I know what's wrong. The program was running here. I have to stop it. I'm so sorry for this. So, of course, the generator can't be dedicated to another program. So, now I have the signal test. Now I'm doing it right. Sorry for that. Because I was testing it all before. I didn't see that I hadn't ended this. Now I say override generator. And now you will see there is the generator signal test. And I push start, and you will see it will start loading the frequencies. And I want to show you, and I want to show real close. You see what happens? Now you see the LED lights coming on, also on the boost. There is a red light, and you see how the LED lights are behaving. The difference is there are being the port 1, port 2 out are being combined, and this is how the frequencies show up in the LED lights. So you can run this for all your connected remotes, just to see if you have connected them in a right way. This is what I wanted to show you in this part. The generator signal test. Now, all the things, all the versatile use of the remote. First, I'm going to explain about the terrain detox, because that is the recommended start for everybody who starts rifing. I'm going to show you how to run programs for known conditions and the detox maintenance. Also, I'll speak about running sweeps for molds and pests, choosing empty shell presets to deliver, what they are and how to deliver. I will shortly speak about waveforms and wobbles. I want to speak to you about the wellness programs that you can run in the time that you are doing the terrain detox, which lasts 11 days. There are some programs that you can run. And I want to talk to you about about molecular weight, sorry. So, oops, sorry. First, the hardware connections I already showed you, the software connections. So it is very important to run the terrain detox protocols before anything else when you first get your Spooky2 kit. This is because the terrain protocol helps your body to prepare for rifing, especially as adults in our everyday life, through our drinking water, through the air pollution, through our food, we absorb a lot of toxins, and so many sometimes that it's hard for the body to eliminate them, and they get stored somewhere and they can form a blockage to receive the frequencies. So it is important that we become clean as newborn babies again before starting this Rife method of killing and healing. So like I said, it lasts 11 days, and there are various protocols in lower power that you can use in case of extreme sensitivity, because some people, they get a very strong Herx reaction, or they get a strong reaction because of certain parts in their body. So I want to show you all the different ways of going through the terrain protocol. So for that, we go back to the software again. Here we are. We go back to the home page. And I want to show you. Oh, sorry, this is biofeedback. DETOX. In the home program, you have this row of possibilities and we click DETOX, we are talking about remote. So this is the mode that we want to deliver the frequencies in. And here you have all the different kind of terrain protocols. The normal one, the default one is this one, terrain. The R is for remote, and BY, I think that's Brian Yamamoto. These are the initials of the person who built the preset. So I click terrain, and you see here in the notes is a full explanation of the terrain. It has a schedule for terrain, how long, how many days. So it has a schedule for all the modes. And it tells you how it is run. There's also a schedule that will tell you exactly how long, how many hours, because there are 15 presets, and it takes 11 days because some presets are last only 12 hours, and so then you have more presets during one day. So altogether, it's 11 days. Now, some people with the terrain protocol can get a Herx reaction. What is a Herx reaction? It was discovered by Dr. Herxheimer. And this is when you are detoxing. There are so many toxins that your body has to eliminate that it can be hard on your body. And some people can get this Herx reaction, headaches, or even nausea. If this happens, you can stop the terrain protocol for a moment, and you can run a Herxheimer program. For that, you can go to presets. You have to choose an empty preset for remote. And then you want to, of course, you want to heal that Herxheimer reaction. So you choose a preset for healing. You see here, this is a preset. It is empty, so you will have to load programs in it. You see, I have already put in the search machine Herx, and you see here you get one. It will bring up everything where even in the description the word Herx is mentioned. So here you get the special Lyme program Herxheimer helpers. But here you have the Herxheimer reaction helper that you would use when you are having, during the terrain protocol, Herx reaction. So first I will show you, I will go back to the DETOX, and we will load for remote the terrain protocol. You see, when presets are here, I can go to control. I choose the generator. In this case, I'm going to choose my generator X, one of the generator X, the 9 out port. I can see here on generator X where that is. It will says here port. Generator 1 says is port 9 and generator 2 is port 10. I attach my remote and my boost to the generator as shown, and then I start the terrain protocol. And you will see it will start loading into the generator. And here you see it starts running. Now, if the generator is connected to the computer, this will run for 11 days. It's 15 presets, and they will run for the full 11 days. You don't have to do anything. After 24 hours, remove metals will go on to the second day of remove metals, and so on. After it's all programmed for you. If you want to use generator X in this standalone mode, you can do that. You can do terrain in a standalone mode if you don't have a dedicated computer and you want to use it for something else. But then you would have to load every preset manually into the generator X. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to stop for a moment this, and I will show you how to load generator X. You click load generator X and a screen will open. I think I have to open that screen here for you. Yes. So this screen will open. It says load generator. You see, before I have been doing that. So you will see this, the preset that you have chosen in the other on the other screen. You just click this and then you have it loaded. Then you have to say save and it will go back to this screen. Then you have to go to preset number 2, override generator 9. You see now it changes to 2. Then you can, I will show you one more time, then you go again to load generator X and that screen will open again. So we are here in this screen. You see now it says here to remove metals. So you put that into by double clicking. You have to click save again and then it will be saved and so on. All 15 of them you will have to load manually. And then when you put them on generator X without it being attached to the computer, you will have to advance them manually. So you have to take track of the 24 hours that you have to run the first preset and then move it manually onto the second preset and so on. And this is for all the 15 presets. So you will have to have the schedule of how many hours for every preset you need. Like I said, it's much more convenient just to leave it attached to the computer and the computer will do this all for you. It will move after 24 hours, it will move on to the next and the next and the next preset. So now, like I said before, I went a little bit ahead with the Herxheimer reaction. Now, if you want to run the Herxheimer reaction on the other generator, either an XM generator or the generator 2 of a generator X, you can do that at the same time because it's a healing program. It is only not recommended to run whilst you're detoxing killing programs, because that would be too much for your body. You are killing pathogens at the same time that you're trying to do the big detox. That is not recommended. But a healing program you can use. So I think it was in heal. We do remote, shell empty preset. We choose remote. I choose a healing setting. And then I go to programs. And here I have the Herxheimer reaction. It's here, so it's loaded. Then I can go to control. Now I click the free generator that I have, either the other generator X, which I will do in this case, override generator, it's already there. So it's the Herxheimer reaction, and I can start that on the other computer, on the other generator, sorry. You see it's loading. And now it's running. So you see, on my generator X, on generator 1, port 9, I have running the detox, the terrain detox, and, sorry, on generator 10, on port 10, which is the generator 2 of my generator X, sorry. I was a bit distracted. I have the Herxheimer reaction running. You can run them at the same time. If the Herx reaction is very, very strong, you can pause it for a moment. So that is the way to start with the terrain. And back to the presentation. Hardware and software connection we have shown. I've wanted to show you also, if you don't have this Herx reaction, but you have bought all this beautiful equipment and you have to wait for 11 days until your detox is ready, you can run some wellness programs. There are beautiful wellness programs. And for that, I'm not going to take you back to the software, but just tell you here where you can find it in the home, on the home page. You will find in that whole row of possibilities, you will find heal. And you can click that. And then you can say it's for remote. And when you click that, you get this list of programs. This daily wellness is a beautiful program. It runs for 24 hours. It will help you with sleep during the day. It will help you with awareness. It will give you some hours of minerals and vitamins. It's a wonderful program, 24 hours, and it will run on until you stop it. You have a program to improve your eyesight, to stimulate your immune system, to help your Kundalini flow. You have the multivitamin and mineral program, and you have the Schumann resonator, which is the Schumann resonance is that's the vibration of the earth, or its harmonics. And that is usually something that makes us, that calms us. It's the vibration of our mother. So, and you will notice also that pets will be calmed by it. So it really is something nice to run. And all these programs you can use when you are doing the detox remains, because they do not involve any killings. It is definitely not recommended to run killing programs while you are doing the detox. Then when you have finished terrain protocol and you have prepared your body to start rifing, you can start running results of your biofeedback scans. There are a lot of videos about how to go about that, and there are also training programs by other trainers, especially all about biofeedback and how to do that. So we are going to skip that here. Just to say that as soon as you start to run killing programs, it is recommended to always run one remote with detox maintenance. This is because when you are killing pathogens, it means that you are sending frequencies to your body, that are starting to kill pathogens. And when these pathogens die, they will release a lot of toxins in your body that then your body has to eliminate. So the detox maintenance is a helper for that. You will find it in the same row as all the other detox programs. There it is, detox maintenance. And this is what it does. And you just leave that running looped 24/24 as long as you are running killing frequencies. Also, it is very much recommended to drink a lot of water when all the time, also during your terrain detox. the more water you drink, the easier for your body to eliminate the toxins. Now, there is also the question of choosing healing or killing programs. When would you choose a healing or a killing program, or even is a setting for kill or heal, in case you are not sure, or in case there is a combination? Well, here I have just copied all the things that are being said on the Spooky website about this. By looking at the name of the frequency set in the description, if it has the word disease in it, it is caused by a pathogen. So if there is a pathogen, this is where you choose a killing. It will kill all the pathogens that are the frequencies are found for. So if you have a bacterial infection or a viral infection, anything that does not belong to your body, anything that puts your body at a disease, for that you use a killing setting. Special cases are autoimmune diseases and inflammatory diseases. These can usually require both killing and healing. So then you can choose the kill or heal. Because when the pathogen is taken care of, the inflammatory process may continue and has to be healed. So, like I said, the killing for anything that does not belong to your body, and healing for everything that does belong to your body, like healing organs. And, well, there are beautiful programs to help you with the energetic work, like the chakra and songs of the spine. Those are beautiful programs written by the developers and the people who are working with Spooky2 from its first beginning, that are really to be recommended, and I greatly encourage you to experiment with them. And those you will all find when you click the shell empty preset and you click remote. You will find this whole row of possibilities of the presets where you can load your programs into. Then we have the molecular weight, and molecular weight is all the settings, all the frequencies. It's a collection of about 8,000 programs. I think now there are even more. For pharmaceutical drugs, essential oils, vitamins and minerals, and molecules important to health. So all these remedies that you have, either if it's a pharmaceutical drug or a natural remedy like essential oils, the frequencies for them are determined by the molecular weight. And they are in the database, and you can pick them. You can pick them as programs. And there are, in the shell empty preset, you can find settings for removal or emulate MW. So emulate means you want to have the substance in your body. It is as if you are taking the pill, but instead of taking the pill, you are having the frequencies delivered to your body by remote rifing. But there is also remove molecular weight, and this, for instance, you can use when you have been prescribed a drug like, for instance, cortisone for some time. Your body gets used to it. There's a lot of side effects, but also I have understood from people who have used it that you sort of get a bit addicted, and you have to get your body used to going without it again. So in that case, you can use preset for remove. But also you can use any other preset, because if you want to use a molecular weight in combination with a healing program, you can load it also into that preset together with that healing program. That is all a possibility. I just wanted you to make aware of this, because I personally believe this is a very beautiful thing of all the possibilities of Spooky, and that you can use very much with the remote mode. Now, the spectrum sweeps, I also wanted to make you aware of the possibility of spectrum sweeps, and to use them on yourself. That is really what they call an emergency case. It's not to be done lightly, because a spectrum sweep is like a broad spectrum antibiotic. You don't really know what's ailing you, but something is ailing you. And so a sweep will kill almost all bacteria, pathogenic and beneficial. So that means that it will also, like when you are on an antibiotic, you will need probiotics for all the good things that are in your intestinal system. You will have to use fermented foods like sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, pickles, and everything. So if it is not likely to be used, and in no case other than an emergency, and not continue it for more than a week. But they can also be used for environmental use. That means if you have a mold, or you have a plague of insects in your house, and this is what I wanted to show you. I told Penny yesterday I would go hunting. And I don't know if you can see, I hunted this morning a fruit fly, because I had some overripe fruit in the kitchen. And this morning I saw, oh, there's a lot of fruit flies. They're gone by now, because they don't live long. And if you remove the fruit, they will be gone. But I caught one, and I put it in a paper tape, and I put on it fruit fly and the date. And what I can do now, I can take my remote, put the firefly in it, just where I would put the DNA samples. And then we will once more go to the software, because here I want to show you where we can find these programs. So you have in the home page, you have environmental. You can click remote, and here you see a lot of known plagues like bird mites, dust mites, fleas, grain mites, household insects. There, you could run that on this. Mold, if it's mold, if you have a problem of mold, and as we know, mold can cause a lot of health problems. So if you have mold in your house, it is always wise to do something about it. And the Rife can help you with that also. So here you have mold and slime sweep, mold general purpose. Any of these, when you click it, you will see in the notes, there will be some explanation about it. But you can also go to the shell empty presets, remote, and then let's see, there is, I'm sorry, I think I have to go back. Frequency sweeps, sorry, it's in, so it's in the home page. You have the frequency sweeps, and there you can choose remote, and there you have the spectrum sweeps. If you don't know exactly, if you find a bug and you don't know exactly what it is, but it's everywhere, then you can do a spectrum sweep, put the little bug in the remote, and just run the sweep over it. And there's many testimonials about this also. I know that for fruit flies, it works very quick, but you have to remove the cause also, because fruit flies, they have a very short cycle, and they reproduce very quickly. So very quickly you will have different DNA from other individuals. But for instance, for ants, that it should work like in about a week. You will see them gradually go, less and less ants, and in about a week they disappear if they are in your house. So this is a very nice way also to use the remote. And now there is another form of remote. And if you have ordered a Spooky2 kit, this will also have come with the digitizer, the sample digitizer. This is another way of remote treatment, but there is a big difference between the Spooky2 Remote and the sample digitizer, because the sample digitizer can be used for direct scanning only with generator X of biological samples. And the biological samples are, for instance, blood, urine, saliva. Like I said, it could be a little bit of skin. And the digitizer can do biofeedback on that. And after that, it can send the resultant frequencies directly through your DNA to your body. This is a unique ability. It can perform the biofeedback scans and apply the frequencies. But if possible, it is more recommended to use the remote to apply the frequencies because it's more effective. However, it is a good way, and I can tell you further on, I would like to share a little anecdote about my dog. If I have the time, if I don't stay too long on what we are talking about now. So with the sample digitizer, you get a package of the digitizer slides. They can be, you use one pair of slides per person, and you can use them, if you clean them well, you can use them more than once. You can use them a few times until you see that they start to deteriorate, the electronic parts, especially where the contact is made, this little strip here. So the sample digitizer, you use one pair per person. So later you can label them when they're not in use. And you have to put the sample, the biological sample, and like I said, blood, urine, saliva, feces, skin. You can put it in the E part, the dark part of this side. So you remember that it looks like a capital E, and you put the sample on the E. You just make sure it's impregnated with that, and immediately you close it. Oops, sorry. You close it off with the E part facing each other. You close it off, and they have to fit really tight. So it cannot be a nail in this. I saw a video of John White where he suggested that you can use a nail, but then you would have to file it into dust, and then you put the dust in here because that would work. But they really have to fit very tight. And then you see the sample digitizer is like a little crocodile, and you have to fit the outer teeth of that crocodile into these holes so that the inner teeth, the little metal ones, are touching this electronic strip. So that they have to be really tight and really fit together. And you have to make sure, sorry, I have to do it like this because it's a little bit difficult. Yeah. So I have to fit tight now. You can tug it a little bit to make sure. And then you have to connect the sample digitizer to one of the out ones of your generator X. It only works with generator X. It's a feature of the newer generator X. So in this case, I am going to attach it. You see, to my generator X, and again it has this little screw, but it goes directly to the out one. No boost between. With your biological sample in it. Then we go to the software again. And we go to the home page, and there we click biofeedback, sample digitizer. And here you have different options. Every option, again, when you click it in the notes, it will explain and give you instructions. There are several options to do a biofeedback scan. There's a grade scan. A grade scan, very quickly to explain to you, is when you have a condition, like say you have a cold or a flu, and this is what you want to treat. You can do a grade scan. You can put in a biological sample and click in the programs, all the programs that you find relevant for your condition. But of course, if you run all the programs, it would be like 12 hours of programs. So you want this grade scan to find which frequencies will be the best for your present condition. That the grade scan is a great help for that. You also have a hunt and kill setting. Here again in the notes, it will explain what that is for. But shortly, hunt and kill is a program that once you start it, it will start a biofeedback on the biological sample, and after finishing the biofeedback, it will immediately run the results. So it will give the treatment. Then when the treatment is finished, it will do another biofeedback again, and then again run the results. And it will keep on doing this as long as you leave it on, or until it doesn't find any pathogens anymore. If you do this and you are having it running for 24 hours, you would have to change the biological sample, because blood, for instance, it will after 8 hours it will be completely dried and it won't be effective anymore. Saliva will dry out in the samples. Only if you use the nail dust, you can use it longer. But if you use one of the moist biological samples, you will have to regularly change that to run it if you want to run it for more than 4 or 5 hours. So here you have all these explanations that you can explore with the sample digitizer. And again, the sample digitizer is also a marvelous way to do remote treatment with the Spooky2 generators. So back to our presentation. I already showed you the software connections and the settings, all the options you have here. And I greatly encourage you to use this opportunity. It can be very convenient. Now, what to avoid when using Spooky2 Remote? The beauty of Spooky2 Remote is that it is possibly the safest means of applying healing frequencies to the body. It is like the contact mode is much more direct, so also your reactions can be a lot a lot more present, and there are more things you have to take care with. But the Spooky2 Remote is one of the safest means. If you have metal parts in your body, it's the metals that are used for these kind of things are very stable metals like titanium and stainless steel, and they won't be affected by the Spooky2 Remote. Even they won't be affected by metal removing. Only there is a setting in the terrain protocol for mercury. The terrain protocol mercury is for people who still have these old-fashioned fillings of amalgam, which is, we all know there is mercury in there. We know nowadays it's not very desirable to have that implanted in your body, but they used to do that. When I was a small child, we used to have all these silver-looking fillings, you know, and there was mercury in them. Most people don't have them anymore, but some do. And of course, then if you do a detox with the detoxing mercury, that can cause problems. So that's why there is a terrain protocol that avoids the mercury settings. But like I said, for all the other metal stuff that can be used in your body, like stints, staples, pins, and any other metallic object that they can stick into us either voluntarily or because it's necessary, there is no effect on them. However, it is generally considered best not to Rife while pregnant, not to use any Rife method, not even remote, because of course the baby has a part of the mother's DNA and it could affect the baby. And we all know that Mother Nature delivers the babies perfectly. We start messing them up usually the moment they are born. This, for me, guys, this is for me always a slide. Penny must be chuckling by now because she knows I always put it in. Don't forget the user's guide. And I put it in because I made that mistake. When I started with Spooky, you know, I saw it when I downloaded all the material, but it's so overwhelming. There's so much that I forgot about it, and then started having all these questions and looking for answers and using search machines. And then I rediscovered the user's guide, and it's all there. It's all there. And it's really marvelous. Every subject you can dream of, it's all there. And it will automatically open when you right-click in the control tab of the Spooky2 software. So if you are in this tab and you right-click with your mouse in this area, the user guide will automatically pop up. And there, now I have it here. Here it is. The user guide, it's marvelous. I recommend it. It's a big read. In the beginning, you will say, whoa, do I have to read all of this? Well, it's all listed here, all the subjects. So you can just, and there's even some videos in it. There's a video guide. You find your subject and read it. But some people, yeah, they print it out and they read it from A to Z, because it really teaches you a lot, and it explains everything about the sweeps and the wobbles and all the other stuff that is nice to know. And as soon as you get familiar with all the uses of it, I highly recommend it. So please don't repeat my mistake and keep the user's guide handy. I'm just checking. I heard a message coming in and just checking if Penny wasn't saying I'm doing something terribly stupid here. But it wasn't Penny. Okay. Then I would also remind you that you can use the remote for pets. And, oh, sorry. That was my mouse. You can use remote for pets. They usually respond very well to it, you will notice. And very often they like the energy. In the remote, you can use a nail. You have these handy things, you know, there's a hole here and you can clip your pet's nail. Some people say, oh, I can never do that to my cat, but I found a way to have my cat on my lap and start stroking her, and I play a little bit around with her feet. And when she's really relaxed, I can easily clip a piece of her nail, and that's very good because she's 17.5 years old, and she benefits greatly from rifing. You can use a DETOX, you can use it for fleas by catching a flea and using a sweep on them. And your pets will be very grateful. There is also a special Facebook group, Spooky2 Rife for pets. If you have a pet, it's very nice to go there. You can see what everybody else is using. People are helping each other there. There are testimonials. And very, very quickly, if you bear with me, I would like to tell you a little anecdote about my dog. Because I have 2 dogs here, and we live in a very wild area in the mountains. There's a lot of wild critters around here. And my dog has developed a thorough hate of snakes. And now there are a lot of innocent snakes here, and they look quite big. But it's especially some smaller ones that are vipers that are around here, that they are around also. They're very shy, so we don't see them often. But if my dog stumbles over one, you know, she attacks all snakes. But if it happens to be a viper, well, this can cause a problem. And in the past 5 years, this has happened twice. Once, so almost 5 years ago, she bit the head of the snake, and then we couldn't find it anymore. So we guess she ate it, and she got really ill within 12 hours. We had to take her to the intensive care. She was there for almost a week in dog hospital. And she barely survived it because, of course, we didn't know, because we didn't have to have exactly which kind of snake it was. The antidote is also dangerous, so they can give a global antidote. They have to have a specific knowledge of the snake. So it took a week for her in hospital, and of course that's very pricey. And it took her at least 3 months to get back to her old self. Half a year ago, when I already had the spooky equipment, the same thing happened to her. She was bit again in the lip, and she started frothing at the mouth and being very sick. And it was also during a lockdown, so it would be problematic for us to take her here in France. They would not see it as an emergency when you go for a pet, and it was a proper lockdown, so it was very difficult to go with her to an emergency spot. So in my despair, I took saliva from where she was frothing. It was green froth, and there was a whole spot on her lip that was going black, that was going necrotic. And I took this saliva and I put it on the scan digitizer slides, and ran for 48 hours. I ran the hunt and kill on her, changing the sample every 4 to 5 hours, and all the time running hunt and kill. I also gave her the frequencies for echinacea, and also gave her tinctures for that, which is also very helpful when for a snake bite. And in 24 hours, she started eating again. She was getting better. In 48 hours, she was her old self. There was hardly anything black anymore on her lips. And I tell you, folks, placebo doesn't work on animals. They have a different psychology than we do. So for me, that was a big, big confirmation that really made me very confident. We had the 5 year ago incident to compare to today's incident. So I wanted to share that with you. Also, I remember now I promised to tell you something about wobbles. Many of you will think, what is a wobble? So I will take you for the last time to the software and show you where you can find a wobble. Here you have all the different tabs. There are a lot. You will find it in the user guide also, but in settings, you have a setting for wobbles. You can read all about it in the user's guide. You can ask questions about them, but I just want to explain that you have this possibility if you are using killing setting on pathogens, it may be for a chronic disease. You are using them for a long time. It could be that the pathogens become immune to this frequency, to their own frequency. You can avoid this by using a harmonic wobble, and you have different kinds. Like, for instance, this one, it's 0.02%, very slightly, but it will make the frequency run between those words, so plus and minus 0.02%. This will mean that it will avoid the pathogen becoming immune if you are using this killing setting for a long time. I just wanted to show you, I just wanted to put this possibility in your awareness. If I go on about this, we will be here for another hour, and I don't think you are prepared for that. And I want to have also time for your questions. I just wanted you to make aware of the possibility. You can read all about it in the user guide. And you have also the websites of Spooky2. The main website, of course, is spooky2.com. That's where you will find a lot of possibilities. The spooky2mall.com, where, of course, you find all the products that you can buy and all the accessories. But you will also find a lot of blogs, testimonials. You will find spooky2videos.com, where you have loads of videos on any kind of subject. Some of them are only 2 or 3 minutes, but they're very clear, very explicit, and anything you can put a topic in the search, and the videos, the relevant videos will pop up, and you can have your pick and choice. Also, you can Google a subject in or search it on YouTube. All the Spooky2 videos are on YouTube also. Just put the subject in the search machine, and you will also find a lot of Spooky2 videos just in the search machine. I highly encourage you to use the websites. So I will show you for one moment. Here you have the Spooky2 website. One of the beautiful things is also when there is stuff in the office, you will see here, down here, you can open a chat. It will say, we're online. It's a little bit closed now. I don't think they are there anymore. This is from when I opened it before. But anyhow, if they're not online, you can also leave a message here, and it will go in the email. If they are online, you can, if you have any problems, any questions, they are usually very quick to answer. It's really nice. Then here you have the resources. You know, if you open this, there will be a tab. You can find the downloads. You can find the frequently asked questions, but you also have help and training. And there you will find all those other websites. You have a lot of websites here that are translated into your own language. I am working now with Penny on a Spanish one. Very happy with that, very excited about that. So you have a lot of resources here that I greatly encourage you to use. And then back to my presentation. We are almost at the end. I want to draw your attention to the Facebook groups. There's the main Facebook group, Spooky2 Rife for Life, but there are a lot of other Spooky2 groups. There is one for Colodus Silver. There is one for Morgellons and Line. There's a whole lot of Spooky2 Facebook groups where you can find a lot of answers. In the group, you can search on a topic, and it's beautifully organized. You will find all the topics they are grouped, and you can search in the group for certain topics, or you can ask a question. Your post will have to be approved by an administrator or a moderator, and then when your question is posted, you will get a lot of help from the other people there. It's really nice. And I want to draw your attention to Spooky2 Forum. The forum is also a great way to ask questions. There are very interesting articles. In the forum, you will find all the great spooky minds. I call it the temple of spooky knowledge. You will find John White himself there. You will find all the people who have worked on the database, most of them. And when you ask a question, there's always at least one of these amazing spooky knowledge people willing to answer your questions. So that's also very nice. And also the topics of other questions posted there, or articles that are posted there, are very interesting, very, very much so. And they are the kind of articles that you would not post also in open Facebook groups. But the forum is a closed circle where anybody can talk about anything. So sad to have to say that nowadays. So we've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for bearing with me. I hope this has helped you to understand something better, to get more encouragement to start writing. And I will go check the questions. I have never felt anything from the remotes. I have never had any Herx reactions when running terrain protocol or any other protocol. Maybe I am just not sensitive to the frequencies. Would it be helpful to modify any programs I run so that they all run at 20 volts? Am I correct in assuming that the higher the voltage, the stronger the signal? Yes, Carl. The higher the voltage, the stronger the signal. But in this case, I don't think it will make any difference. Many of us don't feel the remotes directly. My husband and I, for instance, during the terrain protocol, we noticed we had sort of a metallic taste in our mouth, and I heard that from more people during the 2 first days of the detox heavy metals. I noticed that, but we never feel them directly. Sometimes, there was something that I thought, oh, hey, I feel something shifting in my body. Maybe that's an effect, but that I assumed is from there, but not a direct. So I guess I'm not that sensitive either. But even with in contact mode and with plasma, you don't directly feel what's happening, but I can assure you after using it for some months, you can find the differences in your body. And I know that a lot of stuff is being healed and harmonized by it. So it is also on your own experience. But this question of the voltage is definitely a question that in your case I would also ask in the forum or on Facebook. There are always people who have already experimented with this, who will start, who can share their experience with you. What program or preset works best for tinnitus? There is a preset for tinnitus also on remote, Christian, in the database. But for tinnitus, if you have the Spooky2 kit, I guess you also have the cold laser twins. And I would recommend you use the cold laser twins in your ears. In most testimonials, people get very good results from that. And then on a remote, you could run also the remote settings for tinnitus as support. But if you have the cold laser, I really would use that if you can. And if not, maybe you can consider getting them. Another question from Carl Wiggins. If this distance does not matter for remote, why does David Halliday recommend placing the remote on the left side close to his body? Well, you have to understand, Carl. David he finds all the frequencies by the art of dowsing. You know, dowsing with rods or with a pendulum. This is his specialty. And this is just the way that he has found it's most effective to have the remote close to the left side of your body. He doesn't say it needs to. He says that's the best. He recommends it. But it will be delivered to you in the same way, even if you're at a long distance. If you and I know so because I have used the remote settings from David Halliday for people who are long distance from me, and they knew when I was running them. They could see results from that. So, and there's testimonials about that. So this is the answer to your question. David says it's most effective when you can be close to the remote in the way that he has doused the effects. There is a question from an anonymous spectator. Can I be on the cell phone while using Spooky2 in contact mode and remote mode doing bioscan? When you are doing a biofeedback scan on the generator X, you could be on a cell phone. It's not recommended because there's always some EMF coming off it, and it will affect your body in one way or another. So, but yes, you can. Not when you're doing pulse. With pulse mode, you know, with the XM, with the pulse clip, the finger clip, and the ear clip, it is not recommended because this measures your heart rate, and everything can affect that. It can affect your bloodstream and your heart rate. So you can, but I wouldn't. I would try to avoid it. Why is cold laser not recommended for treating thyroid? Cold laser is not recommended to use, for instance, on the area where you know you have an active cancer cells, or on the thyroid. Your thyroid, it's a part. It's very important. It has an influence on so many places in your body, and you don't want to activate those cells directly. So that's why the cold laser is not recommended. Thank you, Penny. Coming to your question, what is the difference between if you use system put direct on body or use remote model? I understand, Caesar, that you are asking what is the difference between remote mode and contact mode. Well, remote mode is just slower. They say that 12 hours of or half an hour of contact mode is the same as 12 hours of remote mode. I think that's, of course, the remote mode is less effective than the contact mode, but the great convenience of remote mode is that you can treat your body 24/7, and in contact mode, it is not so convenient to be attached to these cables all the time. It will impede your movement. Thank you all for being with us today. I wish you all very good health, health and wisdom in these challenging times. Stay healthy, be healthy, think healthy, and I hope to see you all somewhere back in the Spooky2 world. Thank you.